Hey, this is Kay, and in this video, I'm going to share some information about Kindred Hearts and provide you with a review of Kindred Hearts. So, is this a scam or what? I mean, is the pyramid scheme, is the IRS going to come after me? Should I be worried? What should be going through my mind? How should I evaluate this? So, if you're looking at this information right now, chances are you've gotten an invitation to Kindred Hearts. You're kind of sorting through the details of should you join this, should you not? Is this a pyramid scheme? What am I, missing here, making a decision on this? And that's what I'm going to help you through. If you are already a member of Kindred Hearts, this is going to be an important video for you as well. And here's why. The people you're trying to invite to different activities in Kindred Hearts to join your team, they're going to have some of these questions, doubts, fears that you definitely need to know how to address and how to deal with them. And I can certainly imagine that you need a better way of how to advertise or invite people into your business. And that's what this video is going to help you do as well. So let me dive into it. This video is going to be pretty much a very short, condensed version of one I've done before about Kindred Hearts, being a review. So you've probably seen all this information before. It's not new to you. You've kind of been through the invitation process where you've gotten some information about Kindred Hearts, and that's why you're here to learn about this. So I'm going to run through this very quickly, and then at the end, give you the scenarios that you're really here for. Is this a scam? What about the IRS? How should I do this? What should I do? Should I join this? Is this a scam? Those kind of information. And here's my big takeaway to this. I don't care whether you join this or not. I'm not here to woo you into another opportunity and have you come join my team, because you know what? If you're struggling to join Kindred Hearts, then chances are no matter what opportunity that's out there, you're going to have an issue with, right? You're going to have some kind of dilemmas of what to do. So my goal is not to try and persuade you to do anything. It's the idea to provide you with information. If it makes sense to you, then you go ahead and do it. If it doesn't, then you don't do it. And if I'm a person you'd love to work with, then I am here if that is something you're looking for as well. So let me dive right into this video about Kindred Hearts and show you what I got regarding it. So Kindred Hearts, and you'll see this information posted by them. So this is directly from the inviters kind of presentation page about what Kindred Hearts team is all about. So it's a private group, it's automated, it's a gift and activity, and it's a huge blessing. Now here's a kicker. It says it's a gift and activity. If that word makes you squirmish right now, then this might not be your thing. If you're thinking, okay, I don't like the word gift and activity, and I need some help to wrap my mind about what this really is and why are other people doing it if it's so bad, right? Why is there's thousands of people doing it? Then definitely stick with this video. I'll provide you with some perspective so you could definitely get the answer you're seeking to make a decision on whether this is for you or it's not for you. Remember again, I don't care either way if you join this. I'm here to provide you with some information that you could use to make a decision for yourself. Now, same information, Kindred Hearts. What it is not. It's not a business, not a company, not an investment, not a club. It's not a race, not a multi-level marketing. There's no dues. There's no officers. It's not a sales organization. It's not associated with any products. So they're being very direct here. This is a gifting opportunity. This is a gifting activity. This is where you're going to give someone some money. You're going to take some money and send it to someone without any intent of getting it back. So if that makes you squirmish again, maybe this is not something for you. But if you're still lingering around going, okay, it's an interesting concept, what else do you have for me? Let's continue. Now, most of the times you're going to hear a different definition when you look at anything else, that they're going to define a business as having a product or service that they sell to customers. Now, here's the thing. I don't make the rules, so don't get at me here. This is what is being said out there. A business has a product or service that they sell. So I don't judge. I'm just an entrepreneur like yourself trying to figure out how to turn a profit. So you're here for the very same reason. How to use Kindred Hearts as a means to turn the money that they want as an we don't want to call it an investment, as a gift, to turn that into some money in terms of monies that you could use for yourself. So let's continue. Kindred Hearts have 4 different boards that you could join. $100, the $400 board, the $1,000 board, and the $2,000 board. and you have to start at the $100 level. You can't just immediately go to the $400 board and try and make your profits there. Everyone has to start here, which sounds totally fair, that everyone starts at the same point and work their way up. Now, the way you do that, and before we get into that, we're going to make this thing here where Kindred Hearts mentioned that the IRS allows you to give people money. Now, you read this information, is that true? Yes, you could find that at the IRS website. But in relation to it fitting into this activity, that's a judgment call. You decide on your own. And everyone has to decide on their own if that is something that fits in this parameter. Now, we mentioned that there's different boards. So you start at the $100 board. Now, here's how that works. It's a 2x3 kind of matrix system setup. So you come in, you'd give someone $100, goes to the person at the top, and then, in a sense, the board's kind of split, and then eventually you'll get to the top here where 8 people will gift you $100 and you'll get $800. So here's how that process looks. You'd be at the top here when you eventually get up to that board, because when you start, you're going to start at the bottom here, give someone, and then more people are going to, as you invite people, more people are going to fall below you. You eventually are going to rise to the top where you're in this scenario. So you'll need a total of 14 people, in a sense, for you to complete your matrix, complete your system in order for you to get paid out your $800. On every board, you're going to need 14 people to kind of complete your system. So this is where you're inviting your 2 people. Those 2 people have to go get 2. And eventually, that's where you're getting your 14. 7 on this side, 7 on that side. Now, Kindred Hearts, they lay things out pretty good for you. They tell you pretty much the system of how you do this. You contact the person, invite them, you show them the thing, you invite them in, they immediately gift their people. So in a sense, in a nutshell, let's break this down for you. In a nutshell, you're going to join the community, you're going to give someone $100 immediately because they don't want you to stall this, so you don't get in this thing if you don't have the money right away to get started. You're going to bring 2 people in, and then when you cycle through all the boards, board number 1, 2, 3, and 4, you know, the 100, 400, 1,000, $2,000 levels, you walk away at 21,000. So definitely sound like, you know, a fantastic idea. I love the idea of gifting. I mean, I was involved in it, but you know what? There's certain things that, you know, if you're squirmish about, it just doesn't make for a very good business. So here's the thing. There's no marketing, no email blasting of any Kindred Hearts name. So this is pretty much by private invitation only. If you get caught, you will be removed. And because you're receiving many gifts, you are required to advance to the next higher level. So when you receive your gifts, you are required to go to the next board and keep on going. If you decide not to, you're going to be blocked from your account or have to speak to the admin about, you know, that kind of situation that you're not advancing. So ultimately, this is a word of mouth advertising system between people you trust. So the business or this activity, gifting, mostly operate on a word of mouth advertising where someone introduces this to you, where someone invites you to this. Usually it's not something it's blasted around the internet and you keep hearing about it. Someone is inviting you to this thing for you to check it out. So if you're going to do this, here's something to consider. Your reputation and relationship with your recruits are in stake here. So typically, most of the times when you're going to recruit, you're going to recruit friends and family, right? Neighbors, co-workers, people you know, people you have some kind of relationship with that you could go say, hey, check this video out. Or, hey, I'm inviting you to this meeting at 5 o'clock online. Check out this phone number. So you want to be aware of that. So if you're squirmish about that idea of approaching your friends and family, you know what? This is going to be something you should really consider here. So your reputation and your relationship is going to be on the line here because you're going to probably be talking to your pastors, people in your church. So keep that in mind. Are you okay with talking to people? If you're not, consider this because you will be talking to people about your opportunity in some form or fashion, whether it be say, hey, check this video out. Hey, do you want to make some quick money? It won't cost you a lot. So there's going to be some form of communication between people. And the next thing is, are you in this to save the people in your life? Here's what I mean. If you're in this activity to try and save all the broke people in your life, like say people who don't have any money, who really need money, who really are struggling, and you think that, you know what, by helping them out and putting them on the boards, like maybe paying for them to be on the boards because it's so inexpensive, what's going to end up happening is the people you're putting on your boards don't really have a clue about really how this works and why it works and why they should be excited and motivated to try and get this to work, that they don't do anything. They don't bring their two people in. So what ends up happening is you're going to have to be the one to end up trying to get their two people in for them to advance. The next thing is when they don't advance because they're not moving forward, they come to you looking like, well, why isn't this thing working? You said I'll be making some money and they're not. So you want to be cautious about how you do this. I mean, are you in this to save people or are you in this to make some money yourself? Next thing is, what will you do when your board stalls? Meaning, when people come on your board, it's not moving because they don't know how to advertise, they're not doing any advertisement, or they're taking a long time to advertise, then what are you going to do? I mean, you're in this to make money. You got things, bills, all this stuff. It's like, what are you going to do when your board stalls? So the thing is, you have to have a plan B in how you're going to move your board. The other thing is, can you bring in more than two people? You definitely want to bring more than two people because you see, the faster you could bring these people in, the faster you could ultimately get your 14 people in to kind of cycle out from this board and make your $800 to move to the next board so these people could follow you to the next board. If these people aren't cycling out to follow you to the next board, then when you get to the next board, you won't be cycling out unless the people on that board really have some way of marketing and getting people in. So that's something you got to consider about. The other thing is, can you recruit multiple ways? Multiple ways I mean by more than just how the group is going to suggest that you market. I mean, when you get into an activity, there's definitely always some training about how to market. But the thing is, can you market in different ways? You only know one way to do it. If that's the case, then you might think of how you could do multiple ways because you're going to need an extra way to do some marketing. And the other idea is, do you know how to handle big money without getting yourself in trouble with the IRS? If you're going to be making some serious money in this, which you're intending to do, right? The idea is, what are you going to do with it? If you just make $800, you're just like, okay, who's worried about the IRS? But when you start making some really serious big money, it's like, what do I do with this? Do I tell my CPA, my accountant? Do I get an accountant? Do I get a lawyer? What am I going to do? So some things you definitely want to consider when you start hitting big money. So how do you prepare yourself for the Kindred Hearts? If you're in this, you decide to go for it, great. Here's how you do to succeed in it. You need to recruit strong, good leaders for your team. Not people who are wishy-washy, weak in their mind. You need some strong people because when they get in, they're going to go have to build their own team and bring their own two people in, right? They got to go get their two. Now, if they're not strong leaders, they're going to stall your team, which I've experienced. I've recruited some people who definitely, or invited some people who definitely had no clue what to do and they didn't do anything. The other thing is, keep your recruits close, get to know them and help them. These folks are probably new to this. They see the idea that they can make good money with this, but you know what? They've never done marketing. They're very shy. So definitely get close to them and help them. Now get to know other members in activity as well. Get to know people who are doing this. You definitely want to network with them because you know what? You need to get some of their tips, the ideas to help your team move. Or if something, God forbid, happens, you need to know these people so you can move into something else with them. The other thing is learn advanced marketing, not taught by the group. If everyone's doing the same thing the group is teaching you, then everyone's getting the same results, which is nothing. Nothing is moving. You're stalling your group. You need to be able to bring in more than two people. Just put that as a given. And the next thing is, you need to bring people in that you don't know. The idea that you don't know them is the idea that they've checked this out for themselves and know what they're getting into. And the idea is to get educated on how you're going to invest your money when you start making big money. So those are my tips for Kindred Hearts. Now, if you're squeamish about Kindred Hearts because it involves gifting or you're looking for a way to make some extra money from home, then definitely check out what I got in the link in the description box where I work with people literally on how to make money from home. The very same concept like Kindred Hearts in the sense that you make money from home, but in a little different fashion. So if this interests you and you're looking to partner with someone to show you how to make money online, definitely see the link in the description box where you'll get an opportunity to work with me.